All right, welcome back. This is an emergency Bitcoin update. I was watching one of my favorite traders, Divine Hood, and he pointed out that he pointed out something very obvious, that this level. I'll show you just in the bar feeds that this level to this level is pretty much exactly what happened here, which is how there are several big time traders that have figured out this was the fractal that we were using to figure out that this is where we were going and how fast we were going to move up. As you can see here, you have the three humps, the one, the two, the three. Here you get the one, the two, the three. You get the consolidation before the breakout, right? You can see it. You can see how it's mimicking the orange, right? Um, if you haven't figured out yet, the universe operates in fractals. Snowflake inside of a snowflake inside of a snowflake. That's how the world operates. That's how the world operates, how the universe operates, and that's how charts operate, right? So, and then you can see again here, we go up a little bit, we curve back down, we go up a little bit, we consolidate. This is the biggest one. This is the biggest area that may be misunderstood because over here, it didn't last for very long. It lasted. This is the 5 day bar. But the price, if you zoom in again, fractals inside of fractals, right? Um, if you zoom into it, if we can get to it, it looks very much like what was happening uh, recently. Go from here, right, to here, copy that, zoom back out. Okay, it's pretty much what happened over here, right? Pretty much the same price action as you can see. If you zoom in, that's the fractal of a fractal, as you can see there. Much bigger, more pronounced price action happening over here than you can see over here, right? But anyways, and then we get this move back up. We get the move up. We consolidate. We get somewhat of a. We continue to get higher highs into higher highs, and then we retest and then we break down, right? And we went to nearly the golden pocket. We front ran the golden pocket. Some people like to nowadays they like to call it CME gap because Bitcoin is so it's pretty much owned by the big financial organizations. Um, and so front ran it. We have to come back there eventually. Made a new higher high. And then obviously the rest is history. We come back down to 15K and we start the fractal all over again, slightly different. We didn't get a COVID drop, but we got a lower low before we came back up from 15K to 109K so far. So what's happening is, to get to the main point, is we could be in danger of repeating. And I say danger, it means some people are going to be true traders who can trade both ways are excited, who've shorted the 109 move from up here and they're still holding on down here. Or if you're long, you have another opportunity to buy in, whether we're going to bounce from here or we're going to go all the way down somewhere around the 618 area as we did here, which seemed to be somewhere around 57% drop from the top, which is a typical drop for Bitcoin. Um, so it depends on your perspective. And then we went from here, this one we went from 28, 29K all the way to 69K. It's $40,000 opportunity where we started our drop, and where the similarities come in. We started our drop in May, and we took it, we started our drop, early May, and we dropped all the way until late July. Then from July all the way until November, that would complete what we like to call a super cycle. The typical cycles, bear markets last until November, December-ish. So if that were to happen, we can take the bar pattern here. Let's just say from that peak down to here, just for the first example, right? We're kind of there already if you just take it bar for bar. But if we take it all the way down to say, I mean, we have the 55% there. We take it all the way down to 62K. Um, we're coming back into the weeds, into the thick of things over here. In the past, we went almost exactly back down to this lowest candle here. Obviously, this section, as I said before, is a fractal of this section here. So if we end up doing that, we're talking 49K. How close do we get to 49K? We take the Fibonacci extension tool, we drag it all the way down to our low, somewhere around 15,500, 400, however you want to see it. Okay. And then we take it all the way high, 109,400. Okay. So where would 49K take us? It would take us somewhere around it would take us somewhere around, if we take it all the way here, we're going to do it this way. We take it all the way back to the bottom of this wick right here, the very last wick. We're talking somewhere around maybe 65%. Let's put the 65% back up instead of the 55%. And voila, we're back into the golden pocket. What happens next? Okay, we can take the bar copy pattern from here to 69K. Will it happen exactly? You made a higher high? Probably not. Actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep that one. That went all the way down to there. We're going to make another bar pattern that goes from here to 69K. Okay, and then we take it identically all the way up, and we're talking I still have 123 to 138,000 dollars. We could possibly go to 118s on there as well, depending on how you look at it. How long did it last? This is important information. From the start of the drop, we'll just go from there to that bottom. You're talking about 100 days, right? And then from the first top to the second top, right? You're talking 210 days. So if we measure it the same over here, I can see where it's okay. And we do 210 days out. We're talking August, right? So maybe it overextends. Maybe August is the end of it. Maybe it does only last 210 days. But first thing we have to see is, are we going to reaccumulate here? The question is, do we reaccumulate here, break back up, and then break down again, and come back down somewhere between 62K and 49K? Or do we just continue all the way down? This is on the weekly chart, and what you can see here is we broke what looks like support. This support level here broke support. We dropped all the way down within a week from, and you can see at the top of the up here the high. We're looking at the H, the high of this 1 week, 5-day candle, 1 week. The high of this 1 week candle, you see here, was 46,000, almost 700, and the low all the way down to $30,000. And then ultimately we hit an ultimate low at 28,805, and the low that it broke and matched was 28,850. Pretty identical. This is probably as close as you're going to get, considering they're 3 or 4 months apart, right? So, and what did we get here? We did play this one in the group in the past very well. Actually, we were waiting for all this chop to finish up, and you can see it in, we weren't necessarily using MarketCypher B back then. We were using RSI MACD, but what you could see here during this time was the scooping up of the momentum wave. The VWAP was coming up back to the zero line, which produced this green dot, and then from there we knew we were going to continue our way up. I had 71K as the high. I missed out on that and didn't realize the market was over until about 58K. So missed out on some profits there, but got out at a pretty, I mean, I guess at a decent price. But now we get to learn our lesson. We get to take what we learned from the past and apply it to where we're at now. And you can see here, this is the last part of what I'm going to discuss with the momentum wave. Obviously, the most important thing you want to see here, we go to the 2 week. I believe I mentioned this in a video in the past. The peak here, we got our red dots. Let's bring this down. We got our red dots. We started peaking here. Anytime you're over this dotted line, over the 100 line, you want to start looking for an exit as is. So we got a cluster of dots going on here. Some confusion, thinking we can go higher than 64K, but we end up getting another red dot immediately while the money flow is turning down from that point, from that peak, right? So we started coming down as well. And even when we got the higher high right here, let's mark that out where the curvature started, right? We're going to put a vertical line all the way through the chart. As the money flow is continuing to come down, we got a lower high, a very obvious lower high. We also got a green dot marking out where we were going to bounce from, which was very nice. But we also got this curvature action happening here into a red dot. And if we go back to where we were before, that marks out the 69K, top. And this momentum wave going from a lower high shows that we're losing strength, that we lost significant strength. So that was the signal that we were going to start coming down in a major way if you were using Market Cipher back then, which we weren't. RSI and stochastic, the pink line, was also showing, as you can see there, was also showing a lower high from a higher high point in the candles. We went from 64K to 28K, 28K to 69K. We still lost volume and strength there. So that just means big participants got out of the market. So this is a warning that we could be revisiting, what is this candle, 49K in the future. And if we were to take what happened in the past, it took from this big red drop, here, we recovered from 78K to 94K. Now we're back down. Hey, we could come all the way back into this little structure here. And I'm from what I'm seeing, somewhere between 62,000 all the way down to $49,000. It took to get to that point, it took a week to get down to all the way down from 64K to 30K, which was about a 57% drop. And to get to the ultimate low, ultimately this took 4 weeks, probably, snatched the soul from retail thinking it's over and everybody took their money out. But if you're diligent, you're doing your research, you're watching all the indicators, you're going to see that, oh, there's going to be another opportunity. Typical cycles end in November, December, then you'll accumulate your money around these levels. So what are we looking for in the future? Right now, honestly, we're just waiting. We're on the 2 week. Honestly, I'm trying to front run the 1 week green dot that should pop up eventually with the 5-day green dot. That's probably the safest thing you can do, because last time we had a 5-day green dot, we started getting this accumulation here. Every dot, every candle is 5 days worth. The first time we got a green dot, we started coming up higher. So let's go into the 3-day. The 3-day shows us, oh, look here, we got somewhat of a bottom. We got the bottom and a pull up, some pull up action. I mean, we are starting to get some bounce action here on the 3-day. Again, we could come back up to 92, somewhere between 92, or let's say somewhere between 88 and 98K before we come back down again. And then we start this chop in action again, while, as you can see there, the green money flow starts to come out, as it could be doing here very soon. So we could set a 3-day. So we have a 3-day alert, 3-day green dot. 1 day is showing money flow coming out while it's trying to create a head and shoulders from there. Um, yeah, so honestly, just to front run it, week. We're looking for a 1 week green dot on the on market cipher B. I don't like how it's showing like this. Okay, I guess you can do it this way. Uh, yeah, we'll do the buy circle. I don't like this. See, I don't like why it anchored me. I hate when that's the only option it gives you sometimes. BTC 1 week green dot. We set that alert. That's probably the safest time to get in. 3-day has a green dot. Now we're waiting for a 5-day green dot. We have to set that one. We have to set that one as well. Okay, green dot. Once per bar close. BTC 5-day green dot, and that's when we're going to start to really pay attention. We're going to come back to these charts and see what's really going on. Are we going to be lower by the time we get that green dot? Are we going to get a significant bounce? Is the 5-day? We really got some very choppy action, and honestly, what I'm seeing here, the safest bet is to basically stay out of the market. Um, Stay out of the market until we get a 1 week green dot. As you can see here, the 1 week green dot anchored the entire rest of the market, because even if you wait what looks like a month and a half, 2 months just about, let's see, what is it for, 2 months from where we were at on this first bottom, then you get a very strong signal uh, that we're about to go up. Very, very strong signal. All you got were green dots from there, and a little further analysis. We mark that as the bottom. We got a nice easy technical 618 bounce. See, we started, our bottom was here. We got a nice golden pocket move back up, which would 61% move up from 28K all the way up to 52K before you can decide to take some money out of the market uh, for you know for a good trade. So that's it. I just wanted to show that. Very important. I'm about to go to bed personally, but very important information that we needed to see. We're either going to accumulate here, but I do think worst case, we would come back to 70K, somewhere right around here. Worst case, 70K before best case, before we see a bounce back up. We could recreate this entire fractal here from 70K, or we can create the entire fractal again from 49K from this wick. So that's what you have. If you have any questions, fire away. I'll be here. Thanks.